Hey everyone! Welcome back to English Speaking Nerds, the place where learning real English feels warm, natural, and fun. I'm Maya, and today feels like the perfect day for a gentle conversation. You know, one of those topics that touches everyone's life in some way.
And I'm John, holding my warm cup of coffee, ready to dive into one of the most universal, emotional, sometimes funny topics ever: family. How to talk about your family in natural, simple English. This is something every learner needs, not just for grammar, but for life.
Absolutely! No matter where you're from, what language you speak, how big or small your family is, you have a story. And today, we're going to help you share that story in English. You don't need perfect grammar. You don't need big, complicated words. You just need to be honest and gentle with yourself.
And because this is English-speaking nerds, we'll talk to you just like friends talking on a couch with tea, or maybe with a warm blanket. At least that's the energy I'm imagining today.
I love that energy. So let's start with the most basic question people ask in conversation. Tell me about your family. When someone asks you that, what's the first thing you usually say?
I think I'd say I have a small family, because that sets the picture. My family is just my parents, my older sister, and me. And then I'd probably talk about what my parents do or where my sister lives.
For me, I'd start with I have a medium-sized family. My parents, my older brother, a big extended family, and lots of cousins who appear like magic during holidays and disappear when it's time to clean.
That sounds exactly like what cousins do.
Yes, but no matter what your family size is, the basic introduction is super simple. I have a big family. I have a small family. I have two siblings. I'm an only child.
And the conversation usually flows naturally from there. So let's begin with parents. Tell me again, Maya, what be your parents do?
My dad works for a transport company. He manages a team of drivers, and he loves talking about roads, traffic, maps, everything. And my mom runs a small home bakery. She bakes cookies, cakes, bread, and basically made my childhood smell like butter and vanilla.
That sounds like childhood dream. Meanwhile, my childhood smelled like dusty circuit boards because my dad works in an electronics shop. He fixes old radios, broken headphones, vintage devices, you name it. And my mom is a second-grade teacher. She's the gentlest human being I know.
Aww. And listeners, notice how we are describing our parents. My dad works in... My mom is a... My dad is a... My mom stays at home. My parents are retired. These are simple, everyday English sentences. Easy to say, easy to remember.
Yes, and if you're practicing with us right now, say one sentence about your mom or dad. Even if you whisper, whispering still counts.
Now let's talk about siblings. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yes, one older sister. She lives in Australia now, studying nursing. But when we were kids, she was the boss of the house. She used to force me to do homework even when she wasn't doing hers.
That is such an older sister thing to do. And she taught you how to make tea, right?
Yes, my very first cup of tea ever. And she taught me how to tie my shoelaces. I was terrible at it. I'd walk around with loose laces and trip every 2 minutes.
I can absolutely picture that. For me, it's my older brother. He's 3 years older. He stole every snack I ever loved, and he acted like he was my second parent. But now he lives abroad too, and even though we don't see each other often, when we talk online, it still feels like we're kids sitting on our old sofa.
That's the magic of siblings. No matter how old you get, they make you feel like your childhood self again. So, listeners, simple ways to talk about siblings include I have one younger sister. I have two older brothers. I'm the youngest. I'm the oldest. My sister lives in Canada. My brother studies engineering.
And if you're practicing right now, say one little sentence about your siblings. Or say, I'm an only child, if you don't have any.
Now, let's talk about something I think every family has. Routines. The little things you do together that make home feel like home.
Oh, yes. Like in my family, Sunday tea time is sacred. It's the slowest, calmest hour of the week. No schedules, no rushing, just tea, biscuits, sometimes music, sometimes silence.
In my house, Friday dinner was our tradition. Every Friday night, we had a special meal and talked about our week. No phones allowed. That was the rule. And honestly, now I miss those dinners so much.
That's beautiful. And listeners, here are simple ways to talk about family routines. We eat together every night. We watch movies on Saturdays. We visit my grandparents every weekend. We go for a walk after dinner. We eat breakfast at the table every morning. These are easy, natural sentences you can use.
Now, let's go deeper. Chores. Helping at home. Because every family has them. Whether it's washing dishes, cleaning rooms, feeding pets, or doing laundry.
Yes. Growing up, my chore was washing dishes every night. Then, every Saturday, I had to clean my room. It was always messy by Monday, but I still did it every week.
For me, it was the trash. Every evening, I had to take out the trash, and I forgot so many times. My mom would shout from the kitchen, "John, did you take out the trash?" And I'd jump up like, "Yes, yes, yes," while running outside.
That is such a John thing to do.
It really is. And simple phrases for chores include, I wash the dishes, I clean my room, I sweep the floor, I take out the trash, I help my mom cook dinner, I feed the dog, I vacuum on weekends.
But helping at home isn't only chores. Sometimes it's emotional help, listening to your parents after a long day, helping your little brother with homework, talking to your grandparents, spending time together.
Absolutely. And that leads us into something emotional. What makes a family feel close?
For me, it's small things. Sitting together at night, drinking tea, laughing at silly jokes, doing nothing but still enjoying each other's presence.
For me, it's when my mom sends me messages like, "Did you eat?" or "Sleep early." It's so simple, but it makes me feel cared for.
And for you listening now, you can express that with simple English. My family is very close. We support each other. We care about each other. My family means a lot to me.
Now, let's talk about something important. Different family situations. Not everyone grows up in the same type of home, and that's okay.
Yes, you can say, my parents are divorced. I live with my grandparents. I was raised by my aunt. My dad works in another country. I'm an only child. These are simple, respectful ways to describe your situation.
And we both know people who had different family setups. One of my childhood friends lived with his uncle. They weren't related by blood, but they were family in every way that matters.
My best friend growing up lived with her grandmother. She always said her grandma gave her more love than anyone else ever could.
That's why I love phrases like, "She's like a sister to me." "He feels like a second father." "They are like family." "She's family, even if we're not related." These phrases help you talk about emotional connections.
Now, John, let's talk about memories, my favorite part. Tell me one memory with your family that makes you smile instantly.
Oh, I have one that I love. When I was 10, our old car broke down in the middle of the road. Instead of getting angry, my dad started singing loudly. Then my mom joined, then my sister. Cars were honking behind us, but we didn't care. We laughed until the mechanic came.
That's such a sweet memory. For me, it's movie nights. On rainy evenings, we'd all sit in the living room watching old movies. My dad always fell asleep in 10 minutes. My mom made funny comments. My brother ate all the snacks, and I was the only one actually watching. But it felt perfect.
For listeners, if you want to share your own memory, try "I remember when." We laughed so much that day. I'll never forget when. My favorite memory is... These sentences help you talk emotionally and naturally.
Now, something all families share: disagreements. Every family argues sometimes. It's normal.
Absolutely. In my family, we always fought over the TV remote. Everyone wanted to watch something different.
In my family, it was food, especially the last cookie. Never touch the last cookie unless you're ready for war. But even when families argue, they still love each other. You can say, "We don't always agree, but we care about each other."
Now, let's add some useful vocabulary. Sibling, brother or sister. Chore, job you do at home. Retired, not working anymore. Close-knit, very connected family. Supportive, helpful and encouraging.
These words make your English sound natural without being complicated. John, what's something your parents did that you still think about today?
My mom used to wake up early to pack my lunch exactly how I liked it, and my dad taught me how to really listen to people. I think that's why I enjoy podcasting so much. I like listening as much as speaking.
That's beautiful. For me, my mom always left tiny notes in my lunchbox. One word or two words like, "Smile, be kind, good luck." And my dad never missed a single school event, even boring ones. He always sat in the front row, smiling like he was watching the best show ever.
Listeners, think about one thing your family did that made you feel loved. Say it slowly in English, just one sentence.
And if your family lives far away, you can say, "I miss them," "I love them," or "They mean so much to me."
Before we move on, Maya, what kind of family traditions do you want to continue in the future?
I want to continue tea time and laughing loudly at small things and listening without judging. What about you?
I want Friday family dinners to continue, the ones where we sit together and talk about life without distractions.
Traditions stay with us forever, even when we grow up.
And speaking of growing, your English grows too. Every sentence you speak builds your confidence.
Yes, and now I want to ask you a deeper question, John. When you think about your family, what's one lesson they taught you? Something you still carry with you today?
That's a beautiful question. Let me think. I think the biggest lesson my parents taught me was to be gentle with people. My mom always said, "You don't know what someone is going through, so be kind." And my dad always reminded me that listening is more powerful than talking. I didn't understand it when I was young, but now I think about it every day. What about you?
For me, it's gratitude. My parents always reminded me to appreciate the small things: a warm meal, a safe home, a hug, a laugh. My dad used to say, small things make a big life. I didn't understand it when I was a kid because I wanted everything to be big and exciting. But now I get emotional over a cup of tea and a good conversation.
That's such a thoughtful lesson. And I think a lot of people listening can relate. Families teach us things in simple ways, sometimes without even saying anything, just through daily life, through the way they treat people or the way they help each other or how they show love, even when they don't use the words, "I love you," all the time.
Exactly. And speaking of showing love, let's talk about how families sometimes express care in different ways. Some families hug a lot. Some families don't hug, but cook food to show love. Some families talk every day. Others talk once a week, but still care deeply.
My family wasn't big on hugs, but my mom always made sure there was food waiting when I came home. That was her way of saying, "I care about you." And my dad always checked that my bike tires had air before I left the house. It sounds small, but it meant everything.
My family was more openly affectionate. My mom hugs us all the time, and my dad always gives these warm shoulder squeezes. And my brother, well, he shows love by stealing my snacks and then giving me half back. That's love in our language.
I love that. And listeners, you can talk about your family's love style in simple English. We hug a lot. We eat together. We call each other every day. My mom cooks for me. My dad drives me to school. We show love through small things.
Or even, we don't say I love you often, but we care deeply. We laugh together. We help each other. We support each other. These are beautiful, simple sentences you can use.
Speaking of support, let's talk about how families sometimes help us grow. For example, what's something your family supported you with, Maya?
They always supported my love for books. I was a shy kid, and reading made me feel brave. My dad used to bring home old library books and say, I think you'll like this one. And my mom would sit beside me while I read. Even though she didn't understand the book, she just wanted me to feel safe.
That's beautiful. My family supported me in my hobbies too. When I said I wanted to learn guitar, my dad found an old guitar from someone at work and fixed it for me. My mom listened to me practice terribly for months. That's real love, listening to bad music with a smile.
Yes, family love is often very patient. And listeners, you can express this with simple sentences. My family supports my dreams. My parents help me study. My sister believes in me. My brother encourages me.
Now, Maya, let's talk about something that's not always talked about openly. The moments when family isn't easy, because every family has challenges.
Yes, no family is perfect. Some families argue a lot. Some have misunderstandings. Some go through difficult times, like financial problems, health issues, or emotional struggles. But those challenges also teach us things.
And you can talk about that respectfully in English. My family has had difficult times. We sometimes argue, but we love each other. We are learning to communicate better. My family is strong, even during hard moments.
My family had challenges too. We argued, we misunderstood each other, we had quiet days and loud days. But those things made us who we are. They taught me patience, forgiveness, and emotional strength.
My family had challenges as well. My dad worked long hours. My mom sometimes felt tired. My sister went through stressful times with school. But we always stayed together in spirit, even when life was busy.
So, listeners, don't feel embarrassed to talk about the real parts of your family. You can say simple sentences like, "We have ups and downs. We don't always agree, but we care for each other."
And if your family situation is different, that's okay too. You can say, I grew up in a single-parent family. My grandmother raised me. I grew up in a blended family. I have stepbrothers or stepsisters. I lived with relatives. These are all natural, respectful ways to describe your life.
Yes, and there's no right kind of family. All families are unique, and your English should help you share your story, not hide it.
Now, let's shift into something warm again. Dreams and hopes. What kind of family atmosphere do you hope to create in your own future, Maya?
I want a home filled with kindness and calmness. A home where we laugh a lot, support each other, have tea together, and listen without judging. What about you?
I want a home where everyone feels safe. A home where kids feel comfortable talking about their feelings. A home with long conversations during dinner, just like the ones I had growing up. And I want lots of music. Guitar, singing, silly songs, all of it.
And you listening can express your hopes in simple English. I want a loving family. I want a peaceful home. I want to continue my family traditions. I want to raise my kids with kindness.
Now, let's talk about extended family. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. Maya, were you close to your extended family?
Oh, yes. My grandparents lived close by, and they visited almost every week. My grandma used to tell stories that made absolutely no sense, but were so entertaining. And my grandpa had this habit of falling asleep while talking. One minute he was telling a story, and the next, yes, they do. And you can talk about extended family like this. My grandparents live in the countryside. My cousins visit during holidays. My uncle is very funny. My aunt cooks delicious food.
Some people have huge extended families, and some have very small ones, and that's totally normal.
Now, John, tell me something your grandparents taught you.
My grandmother taught me patience. She always said, slow down, slow down, slow down, because I used to rush everything. My grandfather taught me how to fix things, though I wasn't very good at it.
My grandmother taught me how to make tea perfectly. And she always said, be thankful for little things. And my grandfather taught me how to laugh at myself when I make mistakes.
That's such a useful lesson. And listeners, think of one thing your grandparents or extended family taught you. Try to say it in English. My grandma taught me to cook. My uncle taught me to swim. My cousin taught me to dance.
Now, let's talk about the role family plays in shaping our identity, our personality, our beliefs, our habits. For example, my family made me someone who values kindness and calmness. They taught me to speak softly but firmly.
And my family made me someone who likes deep conversations, someone who listens carefully, someone who tries to understand others. I think that comes from watching my parents talk to people with respect.
And you listening can express this with simple English. My family taught me to be kind. My family taught me to work hard. My family taught me to be patient. My family taught me to be strong.
Now, let's talk about something very real. Missing family. Many people live far from their families because of work, school, or life changes.
Yes, and it can be hard. You can say, I miss my family. My family lives far away. We talk on video calls. I haven't seen them in a long time. We stay connected online.
And that's normal. Missing someone is a sign of love, and distance doesn't change the bond.
I had a teacher who always encouraged me, and she felt like an aunt to me. And I had a neighbor growing up who used to bring soup when we were sick. She felt like family too.
And I had a childhood friend whose mom treated me like her own son. She always made sure I ate something when I came over. That's love.
Now we're getting to my favorite part, reflections. John, if you could say one sentence to your family right now, what would it be?
I'd say thank you for teaching me how to love gently.
That's beautiful. I think I'd say thank you for giving me a safe home to grow in.
And you, listening, can say this: I love my family. I'm thankful for my family. I appreciate everything they did. Even small things mean a lot.
Now, before we start wrapping up, let's talk about the future once more. What kind of memories do you want your future kids or future family to have?
I want them to remember warmth. I want them to remember laughter. I want them to remember long conversations and feeling safe.
I want them to remember slow moments. Fresh tea, warm meals, quiet nights, and feeling loved without needing big words.
And listeners, you can express your hopes like this: I want to build a loving home. I want to create happy memories. I want my family to feel safe.
Now let's do something creative. Imagine it's Sunday evening, your whole family is together. What are you doing?
I imagine everyone is sitting around the table eating something simple, maybe soup or rice, and just talking about random things.
I imagine soft music playing, warm tea, and people just enjoying each other's company.
And you can say, on Sundays, my family eats together. Or, on Sundays, we talk, laugh, and relax.
And now, before we close, let's give our listeners one last practice moment. Think of one memory, one sentence, one emotion about your family. Now say it out loud in English.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be true.
Maybe you'll say, "My mom is my hero," or "My brother makes me laugh," or "My family means everything to me."
Or, we don't always agree, but we love each other.
Or "I miss my family," if they're far away.
Or, I'm grateful for my family, even if things weren't always easy.
Whatever you say it from the heart. That's what matters.
And remember, a happy family is not a perfect family. It's a family that keeps showing up, that keeps trying, that keeps loving in small ways.
And your English doesn't need to be perfect either. It just needs to be yours. Honest, simple, real.
Thank you for spending this time with us today. Thank you for practicing with us. Thank you for sharing your story.
And thank you for being part of the English-speaking nerds family. We are so proud of you.
Every phrase you learned today brings you closer to confidence.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Take a deep breath and tell someone in your family you love them today.